Okay. It says, I guess we're recording.
Okay, good evening. My name is Mary Maslowski. I'm the chair of the Historic District and Historical Commission for the town of Harwich. We are opening our meeting for May 17th, 2023 at 6 p.m. located at Town Hall at 732 Main Street in the small hearing room. We are starting a bit late tonight. It's 6:10. According to Mass law, anyone who attends to record this meeting must first notify the chair. I'm assuming you're not intending to record the meeting.
No, I don't.
Okay,
Any devices.
perfect. Hearing none, we'll start with a roll call, please.
Bob Doan.
Brennan Lowney.
Lynn Zalasak.
All right, and we will call to open the first public hearing for the evening. It is HH 2023-08. It is the Town of Harwich Recreation Department who has applied for a certificate of non-applicability to replace the sign in the Harwich Center Historic District. The subject property is 702 Main Street, map 41, parcel B9. So,
That's me.
I have in front of me is the application, which is the sign that they had circulated around as a possibility to replace the sister town sign. These are the color samples. I will pass them. There you go, those are the color samples they sent with the, I think that's just the mock-up, which is what's in the packet.
You have the copy of the old picture too?
Yep.
The sign that wasn't legible?
Yeah, this one.
Okay, just wanted to.
Yes.
You know why we need to do this.
Well, why don't you state your name for the record so that we can show that you're here?
Jerry Schumann, you want me to sit here?
You can, certainly.
I don't need to stay, really, I don't think. Jerry Schumann, I'm actually with the garden club, but I process this on my own.
Great.
I do work the park, the garden and exchange park, and people were stopping and saying, "Is that your sign?" And I'd say, "You mean the one that we can't read?" "No."
Understood.
To the town. So I've been trying since a year ago, November, to get somebody to do
Well, thank
something
you.
about it. So Peter Luddy painted it over once before he died and put on sticker letters or something, and that didn't go too well on the southwest corner. So it needed to be done again. And
Thank you for that. Comments from the board? Lynn?
Looks good to me. The colors are appropriate.
Brendan?
I'm good.
Bob?
Yeah, totally fine.
Do we feel that so the application is technically for a certificate of non-applicability. It doesn't involve any exterior architectural feature in the historic district, or it involves ordinary maintenance, repair, or replacement of any exterior architectural feature within the historic district, which does not involve a change in design, material, color, or outward appearance, and is necessary to meet public safety requirements, or is necessary to meet public safety requirements. So I think we can come under the second of the three provisions. The materials I think are similar enough. Then that being said, would somebody like to make a motion for the decision. Unless somebody has anything else to comment. We appreciate this. We'll,
Do a little pruning to make room for it. And there's a horrible invasive weed in that park that that is impossible to ever get rid of.
I'm sure they are.
So we'll get as much of that out as we can and go forward with it, you know?
So
Right.
you need a motion to close the public hearing.
Yes, we do.
I move to close the public hearing.
Thank you, Bob. Motion's been made to close the public hearing. Is there a second?
Second.
So motion's been made by Bob, seconded by Lynn. To close, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0. And then we need a motion on the application, please.
Motion to approve case number HH 2023-08 with a filing date of 4/13/2023. Date of hearing, May 17th, 2023. Property is 702 Main Street, map 41, parcel 9B. Owner is Town of Harwich. Applicant is Rec Department. BCRD recording information, BK 9770, page 21. It's a certificate of non-applicability, and this is replacing the sign in Harwich Center Historic District. Findings, certificate of non-applicability involves ordinary maintenance, repair or replacement of any exterior architectural feature within the historic districts, which does not involve changing in design, material, color, or outward appearance therefore. Determination approved, conditions none.
And do you want the, do you want any notes for as sign is attached or sign is as indicated in the application?
Sure. Let me just double check that. So I guess, yeah. So design as represented in packet. You notice the red color? It was called Doan Red. No, I'm joking.
So what I have written is sign as indicated in the application and design as in packet. So we have a motion made by Brendan. Is there a second?
Second.
Brendan and Lynn, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any in opposition? Hearing none, motion carries 4-0. Five, 17, 20, 20.
DPW or the.
So
Rec
they,
will know that you approved it.
they will, so the, our assistant will get this information in the morning and she'll forward it to all the appropriate people so that it can get, acted upon.
Great.
Thank you so much for
Yes,
taking this
I'm
on,
glad
we
I was
appreciate it.
patient.
Yep.
Yes.
We appreciate it very much.
Sometimes it pays off.
Yes, yeah. Worth the wait. Thank you.
Thank
very
you so much, you have a good night.
All right. I'm sure you don't want me to stay and listen to you, Kristen.
The next item on our agenda is approval of meeting minutes. We have minutes for September 19th, October 19th, November 16th, March 15th, and April 19th. Have people had an opportunity to look at those? Any comments or changes that you would like on any of them? Hearing none, the chair would entertain a motion to approve all the minutes.
I move that we approve all the minutes.
Second.
All right, motion's been made by Lynn. Seconded by Bob. To approve the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sets of meeting minutes. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any in opposition? Hearing none. Motion carries 4-0. All right. So, the next item on our agenda is this lovely RFP.
So the,
I clearly have extra copies here. If anybody needs one.
No, I've got one, thank you.
I made some
Thank you.
because I didn't know she actually
She
distributed it,
had.
so that's good. So I wrote up the actual, the description of the basically statement of work. Added here. And Megan did put it all into a nice package here to submit. The one question I think we should just, I wanted to have answered, or the group agree on, is the time period. The RFP calls for completion between 9 and 12 months. Does that sound reasonable? I mean, it sounds very reasonable to me. I didn't know if we want to even move it up.
I think that's reasonable in this time frame.
Yeah.
I'd hate to make it too short.
Because then some may not bid on it because they have other
Right.
work. Yeah.
You know, I'd almost be apt to say 12 to 18 months. But
I would think 12 months is safe.
give me 1 second.
So this is
I
to update
just,
the
one of my
list.
phone calls just to
What's
help
that?
us get in, just sent me a text message. So,
So this is to update the list.
No, this is to, well, yes, it's to take the work that Miranda had done on the forms for Macris and add the historical narrative
Ah, okay.
for 272 or so. But it's going to be broken down by village because I have a feeling we don't have enough money to do everything.
Yeah.
So they'll quote per village, and then we can decide what villages to do if there isn't sufficient money.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So this is only on the houses in the old list, not anything we're adding?
No, it does not include anything, because there's no Form Bs on them to begin with. They have to be done from complete finish, from start to finish. These have been halfway done, or 2/3, and just needs historical narrative.
That's why I'm asking, because I wasn't here for the first part of it, so
Oh,
you're filling
right.
in the blanks.
I wasn't here for the first part of it either. That's how long ago it started.
Yes, 2016, 15?
Wow.
Yeah, something like that, 16.
Yeah.
And then we get to do it all over again.
Yeah,
I think this looks great, Bob.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That'll work.
Can I ask on a similar topic? Did, way back when the Cape Cod Commission thought they were going to be able to do some portions for
Yeah.
us, are they still able to, or
they
was
would
that-
not, they could not do any of the historical part.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, but they would be willing, and I think they're still willing to do some new properties.
Okay, great.
If we identified them, so we could probably give them a list of maybe some of the news that just went
Great.
on, and they might be able to, but
Oh, that's a
I'll
really
follow up with her,
that's a really good idea.
yeah.
Yeah, I think that's great. Do you need anything from us on this? Did
Probably just a vote to approve the RFP, so it can
was
be,
there anything in here that was the only highlight, correct?
yeah, correct the spelling of town, then the yellow was that question 9 to 12 months. And then attachment B,
You
that's the
capitalize
three,
the B.
that's the 4 manuals. So there is a Dropbox that they can go to. That's how, the only way to get it is off of a Dropbox.
Right.
So.
It's too big otherwise.
Capital B, yeah. You can
Perfect.
include it. Yeah, it's several hundred megabytes, so it wouldn't go through email.
Yeah, that looks great. And the list of attachment, that's quite, it's a lengthier list of a list of properties than I realized, Bob.
Yeah,
You know, that's great.
yeah, no, went through the list, because quite a few of them do have the history, which at some point has to be updated.
Right,
or
of
Because
course.
they were done so long ago, they have to be redone. The whole form should be updated.
Perfect.
But that's a project for later. At least we can get them, if we can get them in listed, that's be a big accomplishment.
Oh, absolutely.
Now, I have the books at home
Yeah,
from the Historic Society. I snagged those before we packed things up,
yeah,
so if anybody needs to look at those.
yeah. No, it's the 4 volumes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and I have them, I've printed them out and stuff, yeah. And there's a copy at the library, and I think there should be one copy up here.
I believe there is. I know CPC has a copy because they had
Oh,
asked
yeah.
for a copy
Yeah.
as well when they asked for their follow-up. That was a fun day. I had no idea what the project was, and I was being summoned.
Also not attached here, I didn't do the actual, print out the attachments.
attachment.
But it's basically the list by village, and it also, I have 4 recommendations for sending to who do this type of work. So we have at least 4 people to send it out to, as well as public notification.
I do have the list in front of me. If
Oh, you
anybody,
do?
Yep,
Oh,
if
okay.
anybody. Bob obviously knows what the list says, but that's the list for the attachment.
Yeah, I've got this. It's in my packet.
Yeah.
You get the list,
I
right?
don't have one. Thank you.
Yeah, it was in my packet.
Oh, this is cool.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I need this.
Okay. All right, so that being said, I would entertain a motion to, I guess, approve the RFP for the Harwich Historic Property Inventory and ask that the town administration do what it needs to do to get it out.
So moved.
All right, we've got a motion been made by Brendan,
Second.
seconded by Lynn. Shoot, I guess is a better word. So all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any in opposition? Hearing none, motion carries 4-0. Old business, any update from members? Bob, do you have anything else you'd like to tell us about tonight?
No?
Okay.
Should I?
No,
No?
No.
Nothing from CPC. There
nothing from
wasn't any new
CPC.
business.
Everything,
Passed the town meeting.
everything passed at town meeting. Passed a town meeting without really any real questions or comments. I believe the proponents for the Bank Street are, I think, coming in the next meeting to ask for some guidance and
Yeah.
opinions. And other than that, not too much else.
Mhm.
I did hear from David Nixon today that he did get a mailing to CPC that was a something from Mass Historical. So he was going to forward a copy of that on to us as well.
Okay.
So
The seal, the shutters on the seal,
Mm-hmm.
did that ever come before us?
I don't think it did.
It didn't.
okay.
They look nice.
They posted it on Facebook
Yeah.
and said that they were authentically accurate.
Well,
We didn't
that's-
see them.
Were they a change in color or material?
They were
Yes.
new.
There were no shutters there before.
I have to look at old photographs, but not recently.
Yeah.
Okay, then
You should.
we should
So what do you
ask-
do in a I mean, who reaches out, if anybody? Or,
well, it's a
Probably.
certificate of appropriateness. They're in the historic district,
Right.
so they're required to
yeah.
even for something like that. It's a certificate of appropriateness. That's
So would one of us stop by, or
Nope.
No.
nope, building department.
building department?
Yep. So
Fine to fill out.
Yeah,
Alright.
I'm not trying to be a troublemaker, but it's like, wait a minute, I don't recall that coming to us, and shouldn't that have happened?
It should.
Mm-hmm.
So, there has been a lot of turnover in the building department, and I know they're trying to catch up on a lot. So we can when you see stuff like that, you certainly can reach out if you're sending an email to the building department or calling them. Just let me know that you've done it so that they're just aware of it in case I get a phone call as a follow-up. So it is the seal pub added. Shutters to building. NHD should have applied for a certificate of appropriateness. So we'll send a note out to the building department. Because yes, if they had them and they were just replacing them like for like, same color, it wouldn't be a problem. But change in materials, change in color, anything that's not ordinary maintenance. And I mean, it could have been I don't know that it would have qualified for a certificate of non-applicability where it was adding something new. But yes, they should have come before us and they should have done that. Because the board has the ability to say whether it's appropriate or not. Just because they can be historically accurate doesn't necessarily mean they're historically accurate
Right.
for our building or our town,
As you
yeah,
can see
without,
here on the maps, Google Maps, there's
Yeah.
no shutters on it.
yeah.
So.
I don't know how old that picture is though, as long as you know, you folks drive by it more often than I do,
Yeah.
I tend to come up the other way.
It hasn't had them for a long
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
If ever, but you should look at some old, is everything on the historical site, is it all online now? All your pictures?
The historic site?
Yeah, Historical Society,
Oh, everything online? No,
is it,
but
Do you
I
have
have
access
access
to
on,
it?
I have access online.
would you be
Oh,
willing to take a
absolutely.
look and,
I'll go home and do
particularly
that.
back when it was an AMP?
Yeah.
Back to
That was an original AMP?
That was the EMP.
Really?
Yep.
That predates me, that I didn't know.
Really?
Yeah.
I remember the RMP.
Yeah, I was
remember
before
when.
my time.
Yeah,
Then
because I remember
they moved
it just being over in the port.
Yeah, me too. I
Yeah.
remember the AMP down at where CVS is.
Well, of course, it was in Harwich Port. It was on Main Street before
Yeah.
that, on Cross and Main.
Oh,
Really?
That
I don't
was the
remember it.
AMP.
Where
I
George's
do
is.
remember where George's is, and I do remember
Huh.
that. I remember the ceiling fans. I was fascinated.
That's
I must
funny.
have been only about 4 years old.
Wow,
That's funny.
That's awesome.
I remember the AMP at being at the CVS building when I was younger, and I had an aunt who had worked at an AMP off Cape, and that's where we had to shop when she came down. Yeah, with the black shutters.
Yeah.
So, back when it was the EMP, and of course Toby's was just across the street, and they had fruit out front. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you pick out your fruit, summer fruit. My father worked at the AMP, and of
Yeah.
course the Toby's worked across the street. And at the end of the day, they'd throw the rotten grapes and stuff at each other.
Oh no! It's kind of like Haymarket down in Boston, a little. Oh, that's funny. It's not funny, but it is. Hate to be the person getting the rotten grape thrown at me, but
Or whatever it was.
no, that's too much. That's too much. That's great. I did not realize it was there.
Yeah.
I
No, and
never.
there's a picture. I think you can just see the AMP on it.
Oh, that's
But
great.
that's,
I'll have to
that's
look at
back
that.
in the 30s and 40s, I think, 40s particular.
So when do you recall it being down at the corner of Cross Street and?
I think it moved down probably in the very early 50s,
Okay.
or maybe late 40s even.
And would it always have had the big pane windows in front?
Oh, yeah, I think those were all original.
That's what I
I
was
suspect.
wondering. That's what I was wondering, because I would think it would have,
Yeah.
thinking of other buildings of that,
Yeah.
era.
So when did they put it over in the port?
Over in the other?
Yeah, the other
That
one.
was probably about 58 or so.
Oh, really?
Because I remember it always
There's-
being there.
But there was two. The first one burnt down.
I remember when the
and the-
post office burned.
Well, actually, the post office didn't burn.
Or there
It
was
the
a
only
building
thing-
there that burnt.
That was the only thing that didn't burn. It was a strip mall, just the way it is now.
Okay.
And it had a right
Right.
angle, but there were two stores in the right angle in the AMP. and it was way ahead. It was very small parking lot.
Oh,
And when it burnt down, it burnt the AMP worked all the way it's down, and except for the post office, they saved the post office.
Okay.
And that was there for a while until they built the other one. In the meantime, they built a new plaza substantially behind it. Because where the post office was, the original one, you could, when it was still there and they were building the new one, you could actually go in and park between the post office and the new
Okay.
building. So it
Interesting.
was, the parking lot was very small back then, it was way down.
That's one of my first memories of
Yeah.
town is the fire or
The-
that time period. So that was right around 60,
That was six,
61.
yes, yeah, yeah.
I just always remember the AMP being there, where, you know, obviously the second iteration of it in Post Office Square.
Yeah, between riding my bike down to Alpane's and riding my bike over to AMP, that's when we needed something.
See, for me, it was A&P or riding my bike to Bonats on the corner of Bank Street
Right.
and balancing the meltaways on the bike basket on the way back down Lower County. That's great. I love that. As I said, one of my aunts worked at an A&P for many, many years. So they would always get either the 8 o'clock or the Boca Bean
Oh,
coffee.
yeah.
And that was
That's-
probably that's the store, A&P is the store I remember that
That's right,
you could always
Smell.
grind your beans.
that's right.
Smell good.
And they were always right. And as soon as you walked in the door, that's the whiff that you got.
And they brought in the big wheels of New York cheddar cheese.
Yes.
That they
Yes.
cut off.
That you would
and
cut off the wedge. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that
That's
was
funny.
a great story.
That's funny.
back in the day.
I love it. Anything else for us tonight? All right, so we'll send an email on the shutters and we'll go from there.
Okay.
sounds great.
Thank you for looking this over, Bob. That was yeoman's work. We appreciate it. Yeah, so a motion to adjourn.
So,
The motion's been made by Lynn, seconded by Bob. All those in favor?
aye.
Hearing none in opposition, we are adjourned.